Whether it's for Halloween, a birthday, or just because you think it would be funny, there are plenty of people out there who love to dress up their cats. But is it really a good idea? Many experts say no, and for good reason. Dressing up your cat can cause them a great deal of stress, not to mention the risk of injury if they try to squirm out of their costume. So before you put that cute little bow tie on your kitty, watch this video to learn more about the 5 reasons why dressing up your cat is a terrible idea.
Aside from the fact that most cats hate having anything restrictive put on them, there are plenty of other reasons why dressing up your cat is a terrible idea. For one thing, it's a waste of money. Those cute little cat costumes you see in pet stores are not cheap, and they're only going to be worn once if you're lucky. Not only that, but dressing up your cat is undignified. It's one thing to dress up a child or even a dog, but cats are regal creatures that deserve respect. Putting a costume on them is the equivalent of putting a clown nose on the Mona Lisa. And finally, it's dangerous. Cats are not used to wearing clothes, and they can easily get their claws caught in the fabric. Even worse, if the costume is too tight, it could restrict their breathing or cause them to overheat. So please, for the sake of your cat, avoid the temptation to dress them up in a costume. It's just not worth it.
If you've ever tried to put a collar on a cat, you know that they're not exactly thrilled about the idea. In fact, most cats hate having anything put on them, whether it's a collar, a harness, or a costume. Think about it from your cat's perspective. They're used to being able to move around freely, and suddenly they're being restrained. It's no wonder they get so agitated. Plus, cats are very sensitive to the touch, so the fabric of a costume can be irritating to their skin. And if the costume is too tight, it can be even more uncomfortable. It's no wonder so many cats try to squirm out of their costumes, often with hilarious and somewhat alarming results.
As we mentioned before, those cute little cat costumes you see in pet stores are not cheap. In fact, you could easily spend $50 or more on a costume that your cat will only wear once, if you're lucky. And that's not even counting the cost of the accessories. If you want your cat to be a pirate, you'll need to buy them a pirate hat and an eye patch. And if you want them to be a bunny, you'll need to buy them a pair of bunny ears. Before you know it, you've spent a small fortune on a costume that your cat will probably hate. So why bother?
As we mentioned before, cats are regal creatures that deserve respect. They may not be as elegant as a lion or as majestic as a tiger, but they still have a certain dignity about them. And that's hard to maintain when you're wearing a costume. Whether it's a silly head or a pair of goofy ears, a costume always makes a cat look undignified. Of course, some people find that amusing, but if you respect your cat, you'll probably want to avoid dressing them up in a costume.
As we mentioned before, cats are not used to wearing clothes, and they can easily get their claws caught in the fabric. Even worse, if the costume is too tight, it could restrict their breathing or cause them to overheat. There have been cases of cats dying from heat stroke after being dressed in a too tight costume. So if you care about your cat, you'll avoid putting them in a situation where they could be in danger. So my conclusion is dressing up your cat is a terrible idea for many reasons. It's stressful for your cat, it's undignified, it's a waste of money, and it can even be dangerous. So please, resist the temptation to put a costume on your kitty. They'll be much happier and safer if you do.